So lesson number 1. Okay, what do you need to have to ensure you stay on track for success? Clues in the picture. What are eagles known for? Sight, what?
Hovering.
Hovering, yes, okay. Vision, yeah, okay, so they're known for vision. Now, one thing that, so they're really good at taking the sky view, and we hear the term eagle eye or hawk eye or something like that, is their visual acuity. And the important thing here is you must have a very strong and clear vision. Now, one of the things, when I was in the Army, I was posted in Cyprus, commanding the unit out there, and we ended up doing a lot of rehabilitation of wild birds, mostly peregrine falcons, kestrels, marsh harriers, owls, vultures, all that kind of thing. And then I went off and did my postgrad in ophthalmology, and I did a particular project on the eyes of raptors. And the reason why they can see things from a mile away, does anybody know how their eyes are designed? The way okay, if everybody looks straight ahead, okay, put your finger out in front, stare at your finger, okay? That's in focus, but how's everything else? It's not in focus because you're focused on that. Their eye is so designed that they can see everything in perfect focus. And the way it's designed, it can compress and move, contract, and move forward. They literally have telescopic vision as well. So it's really important to have that high view, because if you don't know where you're going and there's no clarity, and more importantly, if that's not shared, that's a big problem. Okay, everybody close your eyes, or cover your eyes, I don't care which one, and point north. Okay, everybody close your eyes, point north. Okay, now keep pointing. Now open your eyes and look around. Okay, we got 101 different interpretations of north. Does that happen in your organization? Do they have an idea where you're going? Because if they don't have that kind of clarity from you or from the leadership, then people are going to think that north is every different which way. Because think about it this way. Because this, to a degree, comes back to communication issues in organizations and engagement issues and things like that. The leadership say, we're heading to B. But just based on that exercise, you can get 101 different answers. Unless they're engaged and understand where B is, they're going to be, you ask anybody. Because if you did a grassroots assessment right now of anybody, because how many people have really long-winded vision statements in your organization? Yeah, you're nodding your head. Like, keep it really simple. My challenge when I coach clients, get it down to 7 words. Really simple and crisp. We will be the last organization, world abundance through business re-education. Really simple and concise. You knew where you're going, you knew what your main focus was business re-education. So see if you can, that's a challenge. I know you might not have that opportunity to sit in front of the CEO and say, well, let's get this vision down to 7 words. Might be a challenge, but the more distilled and pure it can come, the easier everyone else, if you've got an organization, the lady from Technic, how many employees, 28,000 or something, she said? Like, if I went, you'd get 28,000 different answers, I bet. But if you said, it was like, was it Norman Schwarzkopf when they went into Iraq, first Gulf War, the vision was kick Saddam out of Kuwait. Really simple. You could ask any of the soldiers, they would understand that. So, if you think about the force that you're working with is, how do we keep it simple? Because the simpler the better, because a confused mind, I think it's Tony Robbins says, a confused mind says no. Right? So how do we distill it down? Because think about it this way, if it's really confusing, they don't know, they could think B's over here. Now, even if there's 1 degree of separation, if you understand, if you can cast your mind back to math and stuff like that, and trigonometry and all those functions and relations and stuff, over a period of time, that 1 degree of separation gets wider and wider. And that's when all of a sudden, you got leadership heading in this direction, but the team's over here. And that's why there's this disconnect. And it's like, how do we get everybody into alignment? Because would you rather, because the analogy I use, you can either be a shotgun with that approach. If you understand a shotgun, take it up against a sandbag, stand 10 yards away, fire at the sandbag. It probably won't break the sandbag, and probably the pellets won't break the bag, because all the energy is dispersed over a bunch of pellets. But you fire an arrow, it'll go right through the bag. Because all the energy is behind what? One direction. It's not spread over a map. So your challenge is, to a degree, from a veterinary perspective, I'll use an analogy here, herding cats. Be careful who you share it with. Because anybody know dream stealers in your life? The ones who you say, this is what I want to aspire to, and they suck the life right out of you. So you want to limit them, or do what I call Identify the crabs in your life and get rid of them. Because if you understand the analogy of a crab, you put one crab in a bucket, open top. What's it trying to do? Get out. Put two crabs in the bucket, you need no lid. Why? One tries to get out, what's the other one do? Pulls it back. So identify the crabs in your life. I've done that with I remember a client came to me a while back, and he said, I got a problem. I said, okay, what is it? I said, of course, me being a coach, there are no problems. There's just opportunities and things like that. And he came back in, and I was sitting down with him, and I said, okay, let's look at this. I said, well, what is it? He said, well, I've got all these friends from my childhood, and they're saying I've changed because my business is growing, it's expanding, it's doing all these great things, and they don't like the way I'm changing. I said, well, some people are for a reason, some people are for a season, some people are for a lifetime. You got to identify which one they are and know how to manage that. Okay, so some people are for a reason, some people for a season, some people for a lifetime. It's a good little rule, but the way to look at this, because you speak the important thing is you share your vision with people that you want, that are going to help you along the way. So you speak it, gives it life. To speak it with passion gives it power. And you've got to ramp it up. Because look at there's a big clue in the word passion. I pass on.